Okay, students. So today we are going to start with the topic lysosomes. What are lysosomes in a cell as a cell organ? Lysosomes are basically the waste disposal system of the cell and keeps the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. Contain powerful digestive enzymes capable of breaking down all organic material. When the cell gets damaged, lysosomes may break open and the enzymes digest their own cell, thus known as suicide bags of the cell. So this is basically the waste disposal system of the cell, and it keeps the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. So anything that is damaged or any foreign material is digested by the lysosomes. It contains powerful digestive enzymes capable of breaking down all organic matter. So it has a very powerful digestive enzyme which is capable of breaking down all organic material. When the cell gets damaged, lysosomes may break open and the enzymes digest their own cell, thus known as the suicide bags of the cell. So when any cell gets damaged, lysosomes burst open and it actually digests its own cell. So that's why it is known as the suicide bags of the cell. What are mitochondria? Mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of the cell. The energy required for various chemical activities is released by the mitochondria in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate molecules. So it is known as the powerhouse of the cell, and the energy required for the various chemical activities in the cell is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. Mitochondria have two membrane coverings. Outer membrane is very porous and inner membrane is deeply folded. Mitochondria are able to make their own proteins as they have their own DNA and ribosomes. So this is mitochondria is basically the powerhouse of the cell, and the energy required for conducting the chemical activity in the cell is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is also known as the energy currency of the cell, and mitochondria have two membrane coverings. The inner is deeply folded and the outer is very porous. Mitochondria are also able to make their own proteins as they have their own DNA and ribosomes. What are plastids? Plastids are present in plant cells. These are of two types, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplasts are colored and leucoplasts are colorless. Plastids containing green pigment chlorophyll are known as leucoplast. Is known as chloroplast, and leucoplasts store materials such as starch, oils and protein granules. Plastids contain membrane layer embedded in a material called stroma. Has a similar structure like the mitochondria and have their own DNA and ribosomes. So both mitochondria and plastids have their own DNA and ribosomes. So here plastids are of two types, the chromoplast and the leucoplast. Plastids containing green pigment chlorophyll are called the chloroplast, and leucoplast store materials such as starch, oils and proteins granules. Plastids contain membrane layers embedded in a material called stroma. Has a similar structure like the mitochondria, have their own DNA and ribosomes. So vacuoles. Vacuoles, these are the storage sac for liquid or solid contents. A small size vacuoles are present in animals and large in plants. In plant cells, vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So in plant cells, it is full of cell sap and it provides rigidity and turgidity to the cell. Vacuoles store amino acids, sugars, various organic acids and some proteins. In amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items the amoeba has consumed. So in amoeba, as you know, amoeba does not have any structure. So the food vacuole contains the food items that amoeba has consumed. Whereas in plant, the vacuoles contains the sap. Is basically the sac. So it basically contains the sap, cell sap, and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. Vacuoles play an important role in expelling excess water and some waste from the cell. So in the next class, we'll start with ribosomes.